Okay, it's 6:30, we're gonna get started. Was the meeting posted?
Yes.
Okay.
Commission will now take up matters to do with the special one-day license applications for malt beverages and wine only, or either one. Father Charles Hughes of St. Anthony Church for Saturday, May 12th, from 11 a.m. to 12 midnight. It is the Our Lady of Fatima Feast to be held at the church parking lot at 893 Central Street. Suzanne Frechette of St. Joseph High School Reunion Committee for Friday, June 1st, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the formerly at St. John d'Arc Church, 741 Merrimack Street. The location requires a certificate of inspection for the one-day event from the city of Lowell.
Is Suzanne here, please? Okay. And is Father Hughes here? I know that Father's talking to a higher authority right now. He has a mass in the evening, and I don't know whether he had designated anybody to be here in his place? No, okay.
He's been in front of us.
He'd been here before us, and as they say, he's, got a higher authority, got a bigger boss. And your name, please?
Suzanne Frechette.
Okay, and this is at 741 Merrimack Street is,
The former St. Jean-Baptiste Church.
okay?
And I do have my one-day occupancy permit.
Okay.
Needs to be signed on the day of the event for the final
And,
inspection.
just out of curiosity, who owns the building now?
Brian McGowan,
Excuse me?
Brian McGowan, TMI.
Okay, so you have insurance of,
Yeah.
I presume, all of it, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got to understand now, this liquor license is going to be in your name,
Yep.
okay?
I have done this once before.
Yeah.
I came before you for the previous
Okay.
reunion.
Then you saved me the speech, and you saved everybody
Well,
from
it was good to
listening.
hear it the first time, definitely.
Okay.
Once is enough.
Hey, easy. Anybody have any questions?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say yes to
Yes.
both.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Does,
Good luck.
does she need this, Ryan?
Thanks. Thank you.
Cheap city pins.
Commission will now take up matters to do with the special events permit for amplified outdoor public entertainment applications, starting with the Middlesex Community College. Mary Jo Griffin, Director of Public Affairs, for Friday, May 11th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the campus. It's the Campus Spring Fling at the Campus Quad, adjacent to the Middlesex Community College City Campus at 33 Kearney Square. Sound system for live music, disc jockey, and public address. St. Anthony Church, Reverend Charles Hughes, Our Lady of Fatima Feast for Saturday, May 12th, 11 a.m. to 12 midnight. Sound system for live music, disc jockey, public address. Hannah Ammon Hagman for the Cultural Organization of Lowell, cool. Sound system for live musicians and performers in the Acre Festival for Saturday, June 9th, from 12 noon to 4 p.m. at the North Common. And Lowell Transitional Living Center, Philip Maynard is the Board of Directors clerk. Sunday for June 10th, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Steps to Home, Walk to End Homelessness, sound system for DJ, the parking lot at Canal and Jackson Streets.
Okay, if your name was called, please step up. Okay, and your name, introduce yourself, ma'am?
Hannah Hammond Hagman with Cool.
Okay,
Phil Maynard with Lowell Transitional Living Center.
okay. Anybody here representing Middlesex? Campus. Where is the quad? Where is this, what they're referring to as the quad? This goes till 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, 2
No?
p.m.
It's 2 p.m.
Oh, 2 p.m., I'm
It's a late
sorry.
It's a late morning,
I have a hard time.
early afternoon.
I know
I always had a
Mary,
tough time when I was in
Mary
the
Jo is a very
military.
responsible person.
Is she really?
so,
We're gonna go with
We'll
it?
make a motion to
We're
approve.
gonna make a
I'll
motion
second.
to approve them, okay? Common sense. None of you are running that late, so there shouldn't be any problem with the neighbors or anybody in the downtown or anything. Yeah. But, you know, you always have somebody who's ultra sensitive. We have to be concerned about that, you know? Motion made and seconded, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
You're all set?
Thank you.
Next on the agenda.
Commission will now take up application for public amusement. Jason E. Delegata, Bell Time Entertainment, for a pro wrestling show at the Club Lafayette at 465 Fletcher Street for Friday, May 11th, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And also Carnival, Dean and Flynn Fiesta Shows, Seabrook, New Hampshire. John Flynn, representative for the Regatta Field, Tucker Boulevard, starting with Thursday, May 24th, Friday, the May 25th, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, May 26th, from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m., Monday, May 28th to Friday, June 1st, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., and then Saturday, June 2nd, from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Jason Delegata, Victory Championship Wrestling.
Yes?
John Flynn, president of Dean and Flynn Fiesta Shows, doing
Okay.
business as.
Jason, do you have a policeman at this event?
No, we haven't had a policeman at the event. This
don't
is, I had a license for April 13th, and we had to cancel that date.
Yeah.
So this is basically, I'm back here to
Yeah, no, but I was just curious if you had a detail.
knock on wood, things haven't outbroke. We have more or less a children's type of crowd.
I don't see any problem with either one of them.
No, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next on the agenda.
Commission will now take up the matter to do with a hearing that was continued from the meeting of April 12th on the application by CB Enterprises, Inc., doing business as Major's Pub, Corey Belanger, president, for change of location of license for the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant from 34 Jackson Street to 197 Market Street. CB Enterprises, Inc. has filed applications to transfer licenses for the common vittler and for entertainment and licensed restaurant, for live music, disc jockey, jukebox, from the premises at 34 Jackson Street to 197 Market Street. I may remind the commission that this matter is, public hearing is still open for comment.
Okay,
Just open it up, right?
why don't we do that right now? Wait, Corey, why don't you step aside for a second? Anyone here to speak in opposition to this? In opposition, step up if you would, please.
Good evening. I'm John Noto from 181 Market Street, Market Gallery Condominium, and I'm in a butter. Very, very quickly, we don't have any objection to a pub moving in due to the no soundproofing between the pub and the condos. Just there's a brick wall that's shared on both sides. Several units have had sound issues, particularly with the Dubliner. And so we were wondering if we could request that the license be amended or have some restriction on it in terms of either requiring soundproofing or asking for a no amplified music restriction from Sunday night to Thursday night, through Thursday night. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else to speak in opposition? In opposition, in opposition. That portion of the hearing is closed. Anyone to speak in favor? In favor?
Hi, I'm Tommy
Mr.
Conomo, and I own the building. The bar's been there, like, as you know, for 35 years, and they've always had some type of music or entertainment. You know, if they monitor the music, and like Corey is an on-premise owner, you know, he's not an absentee owner, and you monitor it, we didn't have any problems the last few years.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I guess the last one did for the music once in a while, but that's if you just let it go. But if you monitor it, it was pretty good. I don't think there was too many
Okay,
violations for the noise.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else in favor? In favor. That portion of the hearing's closed. Corey, why don't you step up? Okay. I'm I'm going to start out by, somewhat apologizing. I said the last time that the place was a lot of problems, et cetera, and I didn't mean it as any personal reflection on anybody, but I wanted you to be aware of the fact, and I think the general public has to be aware of the fact that you have people living around you where you are now.
Yes,
There are apartments directly above.
yes, more so than where I'm going, Mr. Chairman, actually,
Right.
yes.
Well, there's no condos directly above you, but you've got the,
Where he is now, he has people living above.
I know, that's what I said, but where he's going, over at the Dublin, there's no.
No.
There's no apartments upstairs.
No.
So, and I have to say, as far as my part goes, I know that, there's been many instances, and nothing personal against this gentleman or anything, but, to say to you that you can't use the sound or something on Thursday through Sunday, all of a sudden, I'm sure you realize, or at least I realize, that that's going to have a direct effect on your business,
Certainly.
obviously. But you're going to have to take that into consideration. I think your past record has stood for itself. I don't remember you ever being here. Did you remember us having problems with the?
No, sir, I do not.
No. So, see what my fellow commissioners think.
No, I think, Market Street is a main thoroughfare in the city. It's a prominent street. I think it would be great to have an establishment there instead of just a building that has its windows covered up. We haven't had any issues with majors, and you do have residents around you. Obviously, you're aware that there are concerns of individuals, and at the present time, I wouldn't be inclined to put any restrictions on the amplification, but if it became a problem, that's a tool that we could use to rectify it. And it's my anticipation that there wouldn't be any problems, and I hope that there's not, so I would be inclined to approve the application.
I think you've got a solid record, a good reputation. You've run great events, both indoors and outdoors, over the years. We haven't had a single issue. With that, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your support. I won't let you down, guys. Thank you.
Hey, you guys can hang around, you wanted these 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the evening meetings. You get up and say what you want, then you get out the door. What's this one? This is that place on Andover Street, right? Next on the agenda.
Commission will now open a public hearing on the application filed for the transfer of the all-alcoholic beverages restaurant license from the licensee known as Brazilian Tropic, Inc., Kayla Cavallo is the manager, to corporation known as AHI, is that?
I, yes.
I?
Like the I, yes.
Aye, okay, thank you. I Bar Restaurant Inc., Luz Polino is the president, with premises at 26 Andover Street. The building has 4 unnumbered doors, and there is a first floor for room for a restaurant, kitchen, and a basement room for a lounge, and there are 3 rooms for storage in the basement. In addition to that, there is the request to have Ruby Purohit to be approved as the manager of record for I Bar Restaurant Inc., and I Bar Restaurant Inc. has also filed applications for minor licenses such as common vitler, entertainment for live music, disc jockey and jukebox, and for automatic amusement device.
Okay. Why don't we just open this up and get that part out? If, is there anybody that would speak, wants to speak in opposition to this transfer? In opposition, that portion of the hearing's closed. Anybody want to speak in favor, in favor, in favor? That portion of the hearing's closed. Tell us a little bit about you.
Good evening, gentlemen. Jim Flood, 549 Roger Street, representing I Bar Restaurant, Inc. Luz and Ruby are with me tonight. I think you're familiar with the premises. It used to be Hughes, and now it's Brazilian Tropic.
Question of being familiar with it. Doesn't it have an outdoor patio?
Yes, it does, and they have no intention to use it for serving any alcoholic beverages.
Really?
I've
Okay.
indicated that to them at this time. That means, well, it wasn't on the existing license. I think we might come back later to amend it, but
Oh, okay,
Brian made that quite clear to me.
all right.
And they intend to operate it like it's been operated in the past, kind of a Spanish cuisine, Latin cuisine, which would be Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese foods. They intend to serve breakfast from 8 to 11, lunch from 11 to 3, and dinner from 5 to 10. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, they'll keep the kitchen open. They want to keep it open till midnight. I've sat down with them. I've told them the concerns the commission has had with other restaurants and operations in the city, and I just want to submit these. They both are now tip certified, so. They went out and took the course. So Ruby intends to spend 40 or more hours there a week, and Luz operates a financial management business on Roger Street down by the river, so she's around too, so. That's basically it.
Okay. Have you had any experience, other than, of course, the course? Have you had any first-hand experience?
In the restaurant or liquor business, she hasn't, no.
Okay. Has either one of them?
No. They have a chef that's willing to do the cooking, and
You're gonna, I'm sure you have, and I'm just gonna reiterate this, okay? To try to make, they're obviously making an investment in the
big
community.
investment, yes.
And certainly, as far as the License Commission is concerned, we want people to invest in the community, okay? We want people to, alcohol today is it's a volatile thing. Youngsters today have access to computers. They can reproduce a license or how are you gonna go about checking IDs? Are you gonna get a machine to try to run them, or?
we talked about that today, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
A machine. She has the book, you have the book, right, on identification of IDs,
Yeah.
but they're talking about getting machine. We had that discussion this afternoon.
The machine, because you gotta study this from like the get-go. Everything you invest is all hinged on this one license, so as to speak. I'm not saying that to scare you, but, it's all hinged on that one license. And so all of a sudden that falls and everything else just falls behind it because it can't stand alone. People want to go out to eat, they want a glass of wine, they want to, and so.
I think they're serious. They did take the initiative to go out, take the course, get certified.
Well, that in itself, I compliment them, I compliment you for it. You're the first ones that have come in here, and I took the course myself. When I first got appointed to the board, I went and signed up, and I took this course just to get an idea of what they teach and how they teach it. But, it's kind of like repairing a car. You get the manual, and look it up, and it says that the conniflin pin should be right there, but you know what? It's not there.
No,
And you got to learn from experience, so as to speak.
Right, but she said,
You don't want them to learn the hard way.
no, she said she did pick up a lot of tips, and I think if you look at what we filed, they are making a serious investment in this property, and I
Yeah.
don't think they
There's a
want to.
gentleman, I don't know his name, and I don't, but you might. Jim Staples. This guy is sharp as a tack. He knows this stuff backwards. He gives classes. He actually has a company that you can pay, and they send in a guy periodically without you knowing it to see if the people that are working for you, you know, are sticking to it. And I'm not saying, yeah, I'm just throwing that out to you for what it's worth. It might be worth hiring a guy like that and say, or get him and say, who have you got that we could hire to be here for the first week or so and stand at the door with somebody and, you know, firsthand show you all the little tricks. Because there's a lot of tricks to it.
Is he local?
I don't think they're gonna have a stand at the door crowd. It's more of a restaurant. It's gonna be
Yeah,
sit
well,
at
it is,
tables
yeah.
and
Well,
you're
okay,
checking your
at a
wait staff,
table,
yeah.
But no, it might be worthwhile
Might be,
speaking.
yeah.
Is he local?
Yeah,
He's in the area somewhere.
yeah.
It's in the region, yeah.
He's not-
Do you have it, Ryan? Do you know where I could reach him, or where we could reach him? So I can contact you.
Yeah, you know, that's up to you. I'm not
It
trying
makes
to
sense.
force mine.
I mean, they're making a big investment, and I
Oh,
think if you
yeah,
look at the
yeah.
purchase and sale
I
agreement.
think by looking at the purchase and sale agreement, you guys know that, you know, your livelihood depends on
Yeah, absolutely,
this
yes.
license. So just from the experiences we've had recently, is that I always want you to be vigilant, but especially at the beginning, because if you get the reputation of being a place where you can have underage drinks and such, you're gonna run into problems, and I know with the amount of money that you guys are putting out, you don't want that, so just make sure you start off on a good foot, and you know, I think taking the initiative to have the tips
great.
certification is great, and I will make a motion, or not make, well, I'll let Ray speak, but I would be inclined to approve the application.
Yeah, I agree as well. I would tell you, I know everybody talks about machines. Don't rely on machines.
Right.
You can fool a machine faster than you can fool a person. All you need to do is photocopy the back of somebody else's driver's license and tape it to, you know, laminate it on the back of your own. That's the
See that?
easiest way. Everybody
that?
watching?
Learn something
Aren't you
every
proud,
day.
hey?
Well, I'm just telling
Aren't
you.
you proud of this guy?
That's exactly how you do it. They're too easy to beat. If you rely on a machine alone, you will be beaten.
We
Okay?
did have that discussion today, though, and they felt that it might be a worthwhile investment, because they didn't think it cost that much for the machine.
They run about
I didn't know there was
$700 or
problems.
$800, but
But
all
I
they
think-
do is
That
they
if it
read the
records
barcode
it,
on the back.
You know?
I think they have all the good intentions, and they want to run a good operation. They're going to be very careful, and like Brian said, you look at the
the
investment they're
ID.
making,
Oh, yeah.
it's big.
Yeah,
So,
that's all. Touch it in your hand, you can tell.
And having somebody come in and do.
Yeah, somebody who's really experienced, you know, I mean, you get, and I'm not knocking the kid, you got a college, you know, right in town here and everything, and I mean, the things these youngsters can do today is totally unbelievable. And, you know, you look at what you've put up just to get this far, and then you know, you get the license and the insurance and the this and the that, and you get some clown that walks in the door and tricks you.
you mean we didn't do that when we were young, Mr. Chairman?
I'll
I'm
make a
sorry,
motion to approve.
when the chairman was young, the drinking age was 11. I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say yes. Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'll call
Good
you.
luck.
Ryan.
When are you opening?
I get the number, Ryan.
That out now, but hopefully by the end of the month.
Well, you won't, until once we get the approvals. I don't think it'll be that quick.
I don't think he'll be back from Boston. How long does it take roughly? Like what, 90 days,
Don't
6
know.
months?
60 to 90 days, I think. 60 to 90
Yeah.
days. Thank you.
Okey doke. I don't know how to do it. You just tape the back of somebody else's to it.
All you do. If you just
Now
scan it,
everybody in the city of Lowell will be
that's
copying
why you have to
license and
touch the
tape.
ID.
Next on the agenda.
And what follows now is, we had scheduled two hearings, one to do with Mr. Jalapeno regarding allegations of misconduct as charged by Kenneth E. LaValle, the superintendent of police. Brendan T. Doucette is the manager of record, a malt beverage and wine restaurant licensee at 124 Merrimack Street, for violation of law and regulations that Lowell Police report took place on the premises March 10th. Attorney George Diodoro, legal counsel for Mr. Jalapeno, in communication with the office Monday this week, has been retained to represent Mr. Jalapeno, and also informed the office that Brendan Doucette, for family purposes or family reasons, or personal reasons, I should say, is unable to attend this evening meeting, and asked that the License Commission consider continuance. That matter had been communicated to the board by way of email. That is the the wish of the Attorney George Theodoro. It also had been communicated to the Law Department, City Hall, as well as it had been communicated to the Superintendent's office. And I assume, with Lieutenant Rowan being here and no other officers present, that there is, presumption is that the commission will accede to the continuance.
Make a motion to continue.
Seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
And in conjunction with, well, in separate matter, to do a hearing on decreasing the hours of Mr. Jalapeno. Again,
I'll make a motion to continue.
continue that.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Yes.
Is Wayne Brasco here? Okay. Wayne Brasco had filed application over a month ago for change of manager for the restaurant known as, well, the licensee known as WKA Investments LLC, doing business as the Brewery Exchange, the all-alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 201 Cabot Street. Mr. Brasco, that restaurant operates the second and third floors of the building, and has nothing to do with the first floor, which is the Lowell Beer Works operation. And Mr. Brasco did not communicate to the office his intended absence this evening, but I'm assuming for personal and financial reasons he's not here. But I don't can assume that. So I would just suggest the commission may want to continue this matter. I'm gonna change it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm concerned there. Is this Vincent Frumeni?
Yeah.
Is he left? So he's not there. So right now, they don't have a manager.
of record.
Other than Mr. Brasco, who is
Well,
the,
you know, I mean,
yeah, he is
we've had-
he is the principal in the LLC. This issue, we had this issue arise
Yeah,
a month
before.
ago.
And I'm saying, you know, I don't think we should continue. I think we should suspend the license until such time as they resolve it. And, you know, this is crazy. I mean, first of all, he hadn't the courtesy of calling or letting you know, you're here, you know, every day of the, well, you're supposed to be, let me put it that way anyways.
But there's some,
I'm gonna make a motion to suspend the license. And then, you know, let them work it out from there. I mean, if they haven't got a manager of record, and he's there, and we know that he's not there, hey, that's,
just,
we're liable.
just for, like a month ago, they were shut down until they came to we suspended their license at a meeting, and then the next day, they.
Well, what had happened is that there was a call that I had received from Mr. Fermini. It was a Friday afternoon, it was sometime around 3 p.m., and he let it be known that he was quitting his job, essentially what it came down to. And he wanted to put me on notice that that was the case, and he wanted the License Commission to be made aware of that. As I recall, the conversation went kind of around in a circle a little bit. He was on the premises, he was there. There was a sheriff, he told me at that time, who was waiting outside, waiting for the appearance of Mr. Brasco, to serve Mr. Brasco some legal document, I assume. Short of it is that I got in touch with Mr. Brasco by way of email before 5 o'clock Friday on that day. He said he was en route to the restaurant. He was gonna be there. I got assurances from Captain Webb on or about 5 o'clock that he had arrived. Mr. Brasco had arrived at the Brewery Exchange. He was there to cover and take care of that evening's business. Mr. Brasco assured me that he was gonna be filing application for change of manager.
How long between the time that you had that conversation and the time you filed?
Well, his application was filed, but it was filed in a sort of like piecemeal. It was not a complete application, and we were back and forth on getting additional paperwork. The primary thing was to do with my having the ability to do what I am, as the administrator for the License Commission for Corey, criminal offender record information, I had to have Mr. Brasco's full cooperation on that document and what that entails. That was sort of kind of like coming
Pulling
slowly.
teeth.
All right, I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. So Lieutenant, if you would, do you serve them with a letter, or does the police just go
Go
over?
pick up their license, right?
Well, I'm
Okay.
sure if they're open, they're gonna be open tonight, if all nights, because
Over.
there's an event at the Sanger Center this evening.
Yeah, well, go over and just pick up the liquor license and tell them they're closed. I mean, they can serve food if they want to, but they can,
If you,
Huh?
that's, so in other words, you're suspending forthwith their liquor license only, but as far as their common vittler's license and their entertainment and,
if they have the food, then they.
Yes, I don't think we need to, I don't think the regulations or the laws require that they have to have a manager of record for a common vittler's license, correct? I know they do.
no,
if they're
it's,
for the
it's just that the common vittler's license is issued hand in glove with the liquor license. But I mean, it is a restaurant, it has food service, and it's not just one of those,
Well, I'll clarify the motion as to suspend the liquor license only.
Okay, seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Okay? So if you'd pick up their liquor license
Yes, sir.
and tell them that, you know, I mean, he could have had the decency at least come in. You don't want to be mean, but hey.
And if he
you
comes
know,
in, then we
If he
can,
comes in, we'll sit down and
we
talk.
can poll the.
At the next meeting,
Right?
at the next meeting. So he'll go for a little while without a liquor license.
okay.
Okay. Could I ask you a question before you go any further? Okay, George Theodoros. Great guy. I don't mean anything personally against George or anything. When was this complaint first brought forward? Well, I'm wondering when.
April 30th,
Was it April 30th?
right? Oh, the continuance was
thought
for
it was
April
continued.
30th.
His request was April 30th.
Well,
Yeah.
We
the
sent out the
office,
notice.
the superintendent,
When did he send it to us, the superintendent?
I
Not?
received the letter from the superintendent's office, March 23rd.
Okay.
And when did we have it on the agenda?
When we had our meeting on April the 12th,
Yeah,
the
when
hearing
we-
was scheduled for May the 3rd.
And we had, I'm sorry, say again, I got,
Okay. I received the letter from the
weeks.
superintendent's office, March 23rd.
okay?
Circumstances with respect to putting this particular item on the agenda, was not on the agenda for the April 5th meeting, which was a special meeting of the License Commission.
Okay, that's right, yeah, that was my okay, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't here. You guys didn't even send me a card, you cheap.
All right, so,
Okay.
But there's
You know, let me just throw this out. I mean, I don't know whether you can do this or not, and I'm sure the two of you guys can. When we send out the complaint that, you know, that we've received this complaint from the police department in reference to an alcoholic license, I find it amazing that, you know, they manipulate it this way, and they you know, oh, I just got the lawyer, and all I'm just asking
okay,
a
can I
question.
just, I understand where you're going with that, but let me just, I had put in the notice of hearing
Yeah,
that the License Commission requires that a request for continuance shall be conveyed in writing to the licensing board not less than 4 days prior to the hearing. This will allow for proper notice to individuals scheduled to testify. So, with due respect to Attorney Theodoro, his office faxed to the License Commission office, Law Department, April 30th, the letter request for continuance. And I shared that with the board by way of email
yeah,
on that date.
yeah.
So I'm just,
I mean, I don't think that we
he
haven't
complied
had
with
an
the
issue with
guidance.
Attorney
Oh,
Theodoro.
no,
asking
this
to come
doesn't
back.
reflect on him at all.
I mean, it's the
No, I'm
guidance
not-
we gave, and they're
I'm just-
complying with it. I don't think that's, if they're following the rules that we're telling them to follow, how is that manipulating? That's my concern, is I don't
It
want
was
to
just to
like.
me, I mean, if I got the complaint,
we
I'm going out
tell
and get a
people-
lawyer, not five.
If there was
I'm
any
not
fo-
sticking the lawyer to a
if
couple
I
of
may
days
just say
before you
one
have to
thing,
appear.
Commissioner Bayless, if there's any fault to be had, it's with the particular manager of the licensee.
Yeah. I'm not looking for fault, I'm saying, that's exactly what I'm saying.
But-
These guys
But-
play
but
that
when
game.
When you look to legal counsel, you kind of insulate yourself a little bit, I think. That's the intent.
Yeah. Okay. I just, myself personally, I mean, and I know Attorney Theodorus, like as I say, I mean, he's a great guy, and I don't for any 1 minute want this to reflect on him, but I think sometimes the people that the complaint is against use the attorneys to, you know, stall it off and play it behind so that, and, you know, all of a sudden, 6 months, you know, all of a sudden, 60 days has gone by, and, you know, you still haven't, I don't know.
Well, I just think in regards to Mr. Doucette, I know he had appeared here prior,
Yeah.
and he stood up there and took responsibility for what he did. And the letter that was sent to him, or sent to us, said he had a family emergency. So I think we should
Okay.
take it that he had a family emergency. If it happens at the next meeting, then maybe.
Yeah, okay, you know, I'm not
just don't
trying to
wanna-
find fault with
I don't
anybody.
want to
just-
prejudge, you know.
No, and I'm not trying to prejudge him, I'm just trying to say that we should try to move them as quickly as we can,
We
so
moved it
people
from
know the
the last
impact.
meeting to this meeting. It's a pretty quick notice.
Hey, Father, we already voted you, because we figured you were talking to a higher authority.
It's about you.
Did you take up a special collection for us?
I did.
Oh,
You take it in Hail Marys.
thanks, Father.
You're all
God
set.
bless you, we're all set.
Check.
You want to make me out a check, I'll take it, I'm not,
So I'm all set. Thank you
You're all
very
set.
much.
take care, Father.
Abençoe vocês tudo poderoso. Hi, everybody.
He's a great guy.
Be merciful, Walter.
Yes, Father. Okay.
With respect to the next item on the agenda with regards to the application by Hayhurst Group, Inc., doing business as Finn's Pub, Kevin B. Hayhurst, President, all alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee, or license application, I should say, for premises at 76 Merrimack Street for first and second floors. The Hayhurst Group has filed applications for the first and second floor for license for Carmen Bittler Entertainment, licensed restaurant for live music, disc jockey and jukebox, and license for automatic amusement device.
I'll make a motion that we put it on for the hearing for the next scheduled meeting, if that allows us proper notice.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you to, willing to talk to you about the matter of the scheduling of meetings in the near future.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I know we had scheduled a meeting for Thursday, May the 17th. And now we just discussed with the matter to do with Attorney Theodoro's request for continuance. And then at the end, we have communications from the superintendent as well for additional complaints on 4 retail stores that have failed compliance check. Kind of all of a sudden, you've got a lot on the plate to consider. The matter to do with, specifically on the matter we're discussing right now, the Hayhurst Group, Inc. Application. It is required that the licensed applicant notify abutters. Abutters defined as property owners touching. It has been made clear in my dealings with the Office of the City Engineer that there is abutting property at the rear of the building, where there is known as an alley or a passageway to buildings that front Middle Street. And so clearly the city engineer's office has record of 2 parcels, one at 72 Merrimack Street and the second one at 23 Middle Street, are parcels that meet at the midpoint of the passageway between the 2 buildings in the, if you will, in the rear of each building. So any abutters would include people to the other side on the passageway, property owners on the other side. It's my understanding that the property at 23 Middle Street has possibly as many as 20 property owners. It's a condominium association, and each condo owner is entitled to...
Is that the loft?
Yeah.
Is entitled to notice of the hearing. The applicant is required to send a notice within 3 days of the date of the publication of the legal notice yet to be published, yet to be scheduled for publication. In consideration of what the applicant is required to do, the fact that the notices to the abutters has to be mailed by certified mail return receipt request within the 3-day period, it may take more than a few days for the applicant to prepare the envelopes and whatnot that go with the mailing by certified mail. Also, it may take a little bit of time for all of the abutters to actually have opportunity to receive their notice. The nature of the certified mail is that it's to be signed for. And sometimes this, you know,
Yeah, I don't think that's the law, though.
I know the law says specifically it only has to be mailed, it doesn't have to be signed for. And there's no requirement that the green
Well,
cards are actually returned.
by
You just need-
by statute, it says registered mail. What does registered mail entail?
Yeah, that's the certified portion. The return receipt is not required as a condition. It's just simply the fact that it's certified as having been sent by the post office.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
but that being said, I know
We don't
it's
have to wait
always
for
been,
green cards
it's always
to
been
come
a
back.
practice of the License Commission office to insist that each applicant send to the abutters certified mail return receipt request. Now, naturally, given that sometimes those mailings are not actually served on the abutter, and they come back to the sender by way of undeliverable, or some it's not received or accepted. I'm just making a point that to have the hearing, let's say, as soon as May 17th, it would be pressing matter in terms of a legal notice has to be published in Monday's paper. I have to make sure that the legal is in the paper tomorrow morning to make sure that it meets the deadline of the Lowell Sun newspaper, which is the local paper. Otherwise, and then,
Can't just put that on the website?
huh?
Just kidding.
And then, the applicant has to send notice within 3 days, so that would mean like sometime Wednesday or Thursday that they would have to be mailed out by the time in which they're mailed, so.
It could be complicated.
So you would have less than, almost a week from the time in which,
Well, I know that, I'm sure that the Hayhurst group wants to get this done as soon as possible, but I know that there are concerned residents, so we might as well give them the opportunity to be heard. So I'll make a motion that we schedule for June 7th.
when,
June 7th?
June 7th?
That way, they have plenty of time to prepare all that. I don't know how the rest of them feel, but we've always done it by certified mail, and I think we should continue to do it, to have them bring in the green cards that proves they sent it, you know?
It's actually
Green slips.
the green slips with the stamp on it from the
But that's a
post
technical
office is
one,
what proves they sent it.
Right.
Oh,
But, okay.
No, I agree with Attorney Weicker on that, but we'll just keep doing the practice that we've been
Yeah.
doing, and,
okay.
and Attorney Weicker.
Now,
Commissioner.
when they send out these, just for my own bit, when they send out these notices, they go to the property owner, not necessarily the person living in the condo. Is
They're
that correct?
they're addressed to the property owner at the address that the city assessor's office has as the property owner address.
Okay.
So in other words, the parcel might have it as 23 Middle Street,
Yeah,
but it might be the property owner is in
Chelmsford.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma?
So
yeah.
if the property owner is in Oklahoma, the notice is going to Oklahoma.
That was a great musical, you know?
So
Yeah.
that's just a point
You
of
probably
where
don't even know what it is.
the city assessor's office, and sometimes I've just had recent experience in trying to help out notifying property owners.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd be very, very concerned about you know, and I'll get down there, but the alleyway now is, I read your email on that about how they say it's got a
I
line.
have record upstairs of that.
And I think, I know that, I'm sure that if I was a business owner, I'd want to have the meeting as soon as possible so I could get it to the ABCC. But I think with the confusion we've had about notifying the residents with another establishment in that building, I think it will just be cleaner for everyone involved to have it on June 7th.
Okay. Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say yes.
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 Now, I'm suggesting the legal notice will be published on a Monday, May the 20th.
I would still recommend publishing it as soon as possible, because if we're gonna wait, if the whole purpose in putting it off until June 7th is to make sure there's enough time for the mail to go out and come back, why are we gonna wait for the, notice to be,
Because he's got to mail the cards, too.
well, yes, but if the whole
Wants
point
to
in
give
waiting
enough time.
until, right, well,
To do up the cards.
Hey, you do the
I was
cards in,
listening.
you can do the cards in 15 minutes.
I could do it a week from tomorrow, a week from tomorrow, which Friday is, May 4th tomorrow, and the following Friday, I would have a legal notice in the Lowell Sun newspaper.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather just say that I'd get the notice out as soon as we possibly can, so that if the purpose of delay is to make sure that the mail goes out, let's not wait until the last week before the meeting to get
I think
the
it's
mail.
Friday, May 11th,
Okay.
legal.
Okay.
And so in following, the next item is to do with the communication from the superintendent with respect to a complaint that had been filed against Puff Inc. The superintendent's office notified the License Commission that the complaint against Puff Inc. requests that it be continued without prejudice, pending a witness who is germane to the complaint, so we'll just.
So moved.
And then you have 4 complaints citing 4 package stores failing the compliance check, which was recently conducted by the Lowell Police Department. That was on Thursday night, on Thursday, April the 26th. The corporation known as Shiv Chris Corporation, doing business as Powers Liquor at 23 Wood Street. Sonel J. Patel, manager. Lucky B. Inc. at 185 Woburn Street. Peter Zoglo, senior. Manager, Vijay Patel, DBA Jerry's Food Store at 1172 Lawrence Street, and Belvedere Liquors at 36 Concord Street, Manuel Career Manager. There has been a prior history to each of these licensees in the last 5-6 years regarding not having complied with the passing the compliance check that was done in certain years.
I wonder how many, Lieutenant, do you have any idea how many places they went to that night?
I can check the report, sir, on my iPad.
I'd be interested to know that.
Please, yes, just give me one moment.
Yeah.
There's about 11 or so.
All right, I'll make a motion to put them on for the next hearing, was that the 17th?
Well, don't you, despite the law department saying that we can't roll back hours or that they're in
For package stores, we can't.
Package stores, these are all package stores.
Yeah.
package, okay, yeah, that's a good point. All right. Yeah, put them on for the next meeting.
Yeah.
That's May 17th. And with respect to Attorney Theodore, we'll continue that to May 17th?
Sure, absolutely. May 17th, that's just before the 18th, right?
Not this year.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And you have anything, Ray?
I've got nothing.
You have
Well,
anything,
second.
Lieutenant?
No, sir, I do not.
No? Okay. Motion made and seconded, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Coming home, Benjamin. Should be a